Everyone knows the tragic story of the fated last queen of Egypt, Cleopatra VII. Her love affairs with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony are legendary, as is the fact that she took her own life by killing herself with snake poison, and all to stop the all-powerful soon-to-be first Roman Emperor, Octavian, from parading her in Rome as his prize after conquering Egypt. However, what is not well known about Cleopatra was that she was not actually of native Egyptian blood. She was of Greek Macedonian descent, and it's believed that she likely had no native Egyptian blood in her at all, or at least very little. In this short history, I'm going to tell you why historians think that, but first, you've got to remember to subscribe to my channel. Okay, Cleopatra was born in Alexandria in the year 70 BC, and her family lineage can be traced back 300 years, all of which show that her family had been in Egypt for a long time. Yet, it's believed that despite this, she did not have any native Egyptian blood in her, again, or at least very little. That means she was still very much of Greek Macedonian blood. I know, crazy, to live in a place that long and not mingle with the locals, but her family did more than just not mingle with the locals. They didn't mingle with anyone, at least not outside their immediate family. To explain, Cleopatra was the last ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom, which was a dynasty founded in 305 BC by a Macedonian general named Ptolemy. Ptolemy was one of Alexander the Great's generals and was also believed to be one of his half-brothers. This provided him with great benefits, which became especially apparent after the death of Alexander the Great, when Ptolemy was able to found his own empire, the Ptolemaic Empire. He centered that empire in Egypt. Cleopatra was the last Ptolemaic queen of Egypt and was a descendant of Ptolemy. And as the culture back then was to very much keep things in the family, so inbreeding, it's believed that she was very much of her original Greek Macedonian bloodline, specifically her Ptolemaic bloodline. For example, it's believed that her parents were very likely to have been brother and sister. It's also believed that she potentially only had 2 great-grandparents when a normal person should have 8. Yes, 2 versus 8. Also, she married 2 brothers herself. I know, talk about keeping it in the family. Admittedly, neither of those marriages ended well. The first collapsed because her brother wanted complete control, but she managed to overthrow him with the help of Julius Caesar, after which her defeated husband/brother ended up drowning in the Nile. Yes, I know, a great fate for him. The second she married when he was only 10, despite her being well into her 20s, and he is believed to have died after she likely poisoned him so as to pave the way for the love child she had with Julius Caesar, who was called Caesarion, to take the throne. Regardless, the point is she married 2 brothers, and that was extremely normal for her family. And if you take a look at her family tree, you'll see how extraordinarily narrow it is, with no initial branching out. Family trees should not look like that. They should not be narrow. They should look like what happens after her death, when the children she had with Mark Antony started branching out and kept branching out. Of course, none of this means that she was not a true Egyptian. Your family cannot have lived in a country for 300 years and you not be a native. I've seen others say that she was not a true Egyptian when she was. Of course she was. However, one thing that likely is true that people say is that despite her great intelligence, she could speak 9 languages, and despite her legendary wit, which she is supposed to have used to endear herself to Caesar, because of inbreeding, she was likely not quite as exceptionally beautiful as history portrays her as. But then, she may have been, just in a different way than perhaps we think. Perhaps her beauty truly was in her clearly exceptional intellect, which, considering her lineage, is quite an exceptional thing in itself. But anyway, I will leave things there, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, remember to give it a like and to hit that follow button, because, you know, the more likes and followers I get, the more of these videos I can make. Is that a good bribe? Hopefully it is, and I will see you next time.